What's going on YouTube? Masex back with another video. We're going to continue the trend in the NFL. We're going to be looking at some NFL players. Last video was a little bit more on the pessimistic side. Today, it's all about optimism. So we're going to be looking at 3 NFL players who are ready to break out. Once again, as I always say, if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to this channel. Nothing but football content. It's real quick, it's easy, and I would deeply appreciate it at the end of the day. And like I said with today's video, these 3 guys, whether it was just opportunity or they had a bad year last year, they're ready to break out and show the world what they're made of. And without further ado, let's get to it. All right, first breakout player I have is Nakobe Dean. Seems like every other post I make, it includes some type of Georgia Bulldog. Nakobe Dean's no exception. Now, at one point, just to give you a backstory on Dean, he was highly regarded and was expected to be a first-round pick back in the 2022 draft. That was not his fate, as he slipped drastically, ultimately being chosen by the Philadelphia Eagles in the 3rd round. So last season, as a rookie, Dean barely played. 17 games, he only played 34 snaps on defense. This year, in his sophomore year, break out. At least I expect him to break out, and I think he has a huge opportunity to do so. So guys like TJ Edwards, Kaiser White leaving in free agency, that opens the door, and Nakobe Dean has every opportunity to solidify the starting spot. My second breakout for the 23 season will be Elijah Moore. So Elijah Moore was a highly touted wide receiver coming out of Ole Miss, drafted in the 2nd round of the 2021 NFL Draft. Entering the 23 season, I'll admit Elijah Moore hasn't quite lived up to the expectations so far. And you could attribute that to a combination of a few things: injuries, poor quarterback play, and attitude. Moore flashed that potential he had his rookie year. In just 11 games, he totaled 538 receiving yards before missing the rest of the season due to a quad injury. Now, Elijah Moore's 2nd year was the true definition of sophomore slump. Didn't help that his QBs were a combination of Joe Flacco, Zach Wilson, Mike White. In 2023, however, he's now matched up with Deshaun Watson as he's been traded to the Cleveland Browns. I do expect Watson, with now a full off season away from the distractions, we'll call it, similar to the 2022 and before version of Deshaun Watson. And if that's the case, Deshaun Watson looks like his former self. The offense is clicking. You got one of the best running backs in Nick Chubb, an excellent offensive line. I'm telling you, I'm expecting Elijah Moore to break out in this high ceiling offense. Now, my last breakout candidate for this quick video will be none other than Kenny Pickett. So Kenny Pickett, the only day 1 quarterback in the 2022 draft in comparison to this year where we had multiple. It wasn't really the deepest quarterback class. That also added to why Kenny Pickett overall was pretty polarizing heading into his rookie season last year. Some really thought he had potential, others thought he was an overrated, very old college quarterback. I was actually on the latter. I didn't really see a lot of flash at Pittsburgh. I really wasn't a big fan, but I will say watching him this past season did give me some hope. Pickett took the keys, presumably from Mitchell Trubisky midway through the season, and he led the Steelers to a 2nd half playoff push after a horrible start. Statistically, if you look at Kenny Pickett's stats, they don't flash at you. It's not really overly impressive. You know, with 7 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, he looked much better on tape and watching him live, and he flashed really good in the last few games of the season. He was lights out, I'd say, the last 6 games of the season. I think with the full off season as the guy under center, the coaching and leadership of Mike Tomlin, they did also address the offensive line, which will be expected to be improved. I think Najee Harris will have a bounce back. I think Kenny Pickett will continue his upward trajectory and will have a big leap in 2023. All right, so these are my 3 breakout candidates for the 2023 NFL season. So we got one guy, Nakobe Dean, where it was just about opportunities. We have another like Elijah Moore. A lot of factors went into why he wasn't able to flash what he showed in his rookie year. And then we have an individual in Kenny Pickett where off to a slow start, but as the season went on and he got more and more snaps under his belt, he got better and better. These are my guys I think that will solidify themselves as legitimate starters. I'm really looking forward and excited. And if you made it this far in the video, once again, as I always say, I deeply appreciate it. A small channel like myself depends and relies on you guys to help me overall reach a greater audience. And as I continue to get better in my craft and overall in the support from you guys, it's going to help in the long run. So once again, I appreciate that. And if you haven't already, like and subscribe this video. We are on the road to the 1K, to 4 digits. Nonetheless, I'll see you guys in the next video.